Hey there, GW students. Today I'm going to be teaching you a lesson on how to draw a sugar skull, and we're going to be doing some print making today. So I hope you've watched the video on Schoology of the Day of the Dead video. The Day of the Dead is also pretty familiar if you watched the movie Coco. So if you've ever seen Coco, you know what I'm talking about. So sugar skulls look somewhat like this. This is what our project's going to end up looking somewhat like. So sugar skulls are a skull that have little designs, and they're very symmetrical, meaning they're the same on both sides. So they use a lot of flowers and greenery and lines and designs. So we're going to be creating our own sugar skull today. So the supplies you are going to need are a styrofoam plate, some scissors, a pen, washable markers, and they do have to be washable markers. You can't use permanent markers because when it comes to this printmaking lesson, it needs to be washable. You need a white piece of paper, and you need a cup of or a bowl of water with a sponge, or I'm just using a paper towel. So I'm going to start off with my styrofoam plate, and I'm going to begin by just cutting around here. I'm going to take off this little edge here because I want it to be able to lay flat. So I'm just going to go right in here and cut this off. Try and save as much of it as you can because you want to be able to have enough space to draw. We're creating our printing plate for our printmaking. There we have it. We can get rid of that. So here's one of my examples of a printing plate here. So this one's completely finished, and this one made this print here. So we're going to be making something similar to this. So together we are going to work on drawing a sugar skull. Once we get the main part done, you can add your own designs, lines, flowers, and greenery to your own sugar skull, how you would like it to look. So work with me here. We're going to work together on how to draw this. We're going to draw the top part of the sugar skull. So it's just kind of a rounded edge. So taking my pen, I'm going to draw that in. And I'm going to feel this. I can feel it didn't go very deep. So I'm going to go in here and I'm going to push down a little harder. Now you want to be careful not to push so hard that you put a hole in your plate. Yeah, that feels much better. Now I'm going to do the bottom part here. It's going to come down. I can do a line and another line over here. And then we're going to connect those. There we go. Now I need my eye sockets. So we're going to draw those in. I need to go over them a few times. Double check, feel that. Make sure it feels really deep. That one looks a little bigger than the other eye. That's okay. And to draw the nose, I'm just going to flip my plate around because it's actually a heart. So it's an upside down heart. So that's why I flip my plate upside down. I'm going to draw just a regular shaped heart. There we have it. Flip that back over here. I'm going to draw a line for the mouth. And we're going to add some teeth here. So these are just going to be some curved lines on the top and the bottom. It's sometimes hard to work with this styrofoam, so it's okay if you have to go slower. I'm just trying to go quickly so that you guys don't have to watch me draw this for a long time. You take your time and think of what designs you're going to do. Okay, from here, you can decide what type of designs you're going to put. On mine, I did some swirls, some flowers. I even put flowers in the eyes. And I even added a border. I want to see you add a border too. Maybe you don't want your border to be swirls like that or like half circles. Maybe you want yours to be more like this, more pointed. Little triangles around the entire edge. If you like that, go for it. That looks really nice too. So once you have your plate completely drawn, you have a nice border, and your sugar skull is nice and full, you have maybe some flowers, you added some lines, we're ready to start coloring with our washable markers. So when you color with these, you want to be very careful not to put your finger where you've started to color. Now, I'm a fast colorer because I've been coloring for many, many years, and you might not be as fast as me, so you might want to take your time. I also like to use the side of the marker because when I use the side of the marker, I can cover a lot more space. See that? Like I said, I'm pretty fast at this, but you should take your time so that we don't draw in areas that we shouldn't be drawing. So this is what I'm saying. We got to be very, very careful. See, I'm even putting my hand in my own drawing because I like to rest my hand, but we got to be careful not to do that. So after you've colored in a certain area, you want to be very careful not to put your fingers on those areas because it might mess up your print if you pick up the marker and put it on your hand by mistake. I might keep using this blue. Let's see where else I want to use this blue. Maybe on these flowers. I'm going to finish up coloring this and I will be right back with you guys. Okay, I have now finished coloring my plate, and as you can see, I took the time to color every little area different colors, and really thought of how I wanted to lay this out. So instead of coloring the entire skull and all the details one color, I want you to really focus in on pulling out those details by showing them with the colors. So next, what I'm going to do, I'm going to set this plate to the side, and I'm going to get a piece of white paper. And this is where I'm going to take my bowl of water with my paper towel. I'm going to squeeze a lot of that water out. We don't want our paper to be too wet, but you also don't want it to be too dry. If it's too dry, your print will not show up, and you'll have to recolor your plate. And honestly, we all might have to make a few of these just to make sure we get the perfect one to upload for our assignment. Sometimes if you use too much water, then your image looks really, really blurry. So we're going to take this and we're going to add some water to this. Once you have got your paper nice and damp, we're going to put our plate down here, and you're going to flip your paper over where the damp side is on the markers on your plate. We're going to rub that in. I'm not working with this like roughly. I'm very gently pressing down on areas. I'm not rubbing it hard like this and quickly, because it might move your paper and it might mess up your print. So what I like to do is I like to just use my fingers and sometimes press in areas to make sure that they really stand out. And there is a trick that you can kind of take a little peek. Oh yeah, that looks good. That's a good print right there. See how that works? It's pretty cool. So I want to see your guys' amazing looking sugar skulls. Oh, and you know what? Almost forgot, every artist signs their artwork. So here's my 2 prints. I cannot wait to see what yours will look like. If you have any questions, feel free to post that in the questions area on Schoology, and I will try and help you the best that I can. Happy creating, everybody.